On this week's front page, an APA study suggests that students may be less safe than we thought studying abroad. We went around the BCC today to see what you think.
Students who study abroad are 5 times more likely to get sexually assaulted than if they stayed on campus. Did that sway you against going abroad at all, or were you afraid for any of your friends when they went abroad?
Nah, because I didn't even know about that stat. The stat was shocking to me. It's the first time I ever heard about that.
I guess, yeah, a little bit, because, I mean, I went to visit a friend that was abroad, like, over spring break, and it was pretty scary. That was my roommate. Yeah, she got, like, followed home when she was going to visit her boyfriend, who lives literally down the street. So, when she was going home, so she got followed one night, but that's all I really heard.
Sometimes when we went out at night, it was kind of scary, like certain situations, I guess, because you're in a new place, you don't really know where you are. So.
Were you in any of those situations?
Sometimes, yeah.
Do you have any stories that you heard or that you witnessed?
Well, I guess, I don't know, people when they see you're American, sometimes they can kind of be a little vicious. And we'd go out and go to a club maybe, and some of my friends would get kind of harassed by older guys. It was kind of creepy. Yeah, so sometimes that was scary. But
at the bars there, the guys are really sketchy, very sketchy. And some of the girls are just there's really not much you can do, and the guys are yay big and you're little tiny things. So
the culture's so different over there, and you don't know. It's really shocking to hear 5 times greater over there. You'd think it would be roughly the same. I just heard in Italy, guys would just come, start grabbing them.
Well, I think it's very different because when you go abroad, you're kind of entering into the real world, and on campus, you're part of the campus culture, and especially a campus like this, we're a very small, close-knit campus, and you generally know everyone that you interact with day by day, even at the nightlife on the weekends.
Especially touching on the nightlife part, I mean, you know who you're with a majority of the time, and you're going to places where your friends are. Another thing too, we're in a suburb type area. You go into these cities, usually abroad, big cities that you're just looking to have a good time and kind of all over the place. So I think that definitely increases the chances.
It could be the instances are not 5 times as much, maybe a little bit more, who knows. But just the reporting of the assault could be higher because they're alone out there, they need to make contact back home, and so there's the reporting process that occurs, as opposed to here where they might confide into a couple of people, but they might say, we don't really want this to come up. I mean, that would be my take. I'd be interested to know more about the study, if they took underreporting into account.
Safety this week is teaching a course on rape, aggression, defense. Do you think that's
I took that.
You took that?
Well, I had to stop 3 classes in, but
How is Red? Do you think it's helping?
I think so. I mean, at first it's kind of very, very basic, and literally the man has to be standing in the right spot in order for you to hit him the right way. But other than that, I think once my roommate finished it, the one that went abroad, she finished the course, and she said once you start learning everything, and it really is practical, to take that class before you go abroad.
Being knowledgeable and how to defend yourself is important. A rape defense course can teach you certain things to do, postures, attitudes, how to approach a very dangerous situation. But as far as teaching you techniques when you're actually being attacked, I think that's less effective than teaching you how to respond, how to be assertive and saying no, than actually teaching you how to defend yourself.
Well, I think it's like a CPR course.
I think it's good to know.
At any time, you never know when it's going to happen, but if it does happen, it's some good tactics to learn and some good knowledge to know.
For The Mirror, I'm Luigi DiMeglio.